Sales today isn't just about relationships. It's about relationships powered by tech and process. Today's special guest is going to talk to us about sales strategies, systems, and technologies that drive real growth. Welcome to The Spark.
I am really excited for this conversation today because who doesn't love a good sales talk?
I love a good sales talk.
Everyone loves a good sales talk, right? We love talking about closing deals, landing prospects, growing revenue. But here's the reality. You can have the perfect talk track. You can know exactly what to say. You can have the perfect sales process. But if you don't have the systems, the ability to follow up consistently, then you don't usually make it to the starting line, right? So today, we're super excited to have our special guest, Robert Perry, in the house,
who is a proven sales leader, has been in sales for over 20 years in the medical, professional sports, and construction management spaces, and has been training with Sandler for over 6 years now, including training me. I've also taken Robert's class. That's how we got here today. And I want to hear a little bit about your background from you.
Welcome.
Well, thank you both for having me. It has been a tremendous ride. My journey started working for Pfizer, and I would have thought that was the best training in the world, uniquely because they sent us away, and for months and months and months, we had to learn the mechanism of action of drugs. And so you would think, hey, I've got all I need. And throughout the course of my journey, if you will, from sports engagement to construction management, I've had the unique opportunity to sell billions. So when my CEO suggested that we go to sales training, my heart sunk. Mm-hmm. Could you not see the pelts on the wall? Could you not see some of the great things that I've done? Why would I possibly need sales training? But to be fair, and I tell that story to every one of the new clients that comes in through our doors, once I saw my sales cycle shorten, that's when I knew I had to lean into Sandler because it works. If you can shorten your sales cycle, then you get the opportunity to sell more faster. So that's part of my personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Getting prepared for this, knowing you, hearing stories about you from Kendra and others, and then following you on social media, it became really clear to me that you spend a lot of time teaching people how to communicate, how to engage, how to shorten that cycle through the Sandler methodology. Tell us, if you can, please go a little more granular into the methodology, just so we're all understanding, like, how are you shortening that cycle? How are you helping people have better conversations?
Well, the Sandler system is positioned to really start with communication. The whole concept is the psychology behind sales, not necessarily a technique or step to help you close faster. It's more, how do we better communicate? And through that communication with prospects and existing clients, how do we qualify better? How do we ask better engaging questions so that we can get to some of the emotional areas that need to be determined in order to have a relationship? And from that emotional step point, we need to figure out what are clear next actionable steps that we need to have in sales so that we can move forward.
Okay, got it. Definitely great insight. I think us all sitting here would agree that the conversations, understanding the emotional state, buying criteria, having better conversations is half of the battle. Yeah. Now, the other half is systems-wise, utilizing technology. That's where we're seeing companies have growth. We're seeing individuals perform, have record years, is where they understand they're having intelligent conversations, but then they have systems in place to automatically follow up with prospects to provide the right content at the right time in their buying, where they are on their journey. Can talk to us a little bit about technologies that you're familiar with that help you and help your clients to accomplish what they're trying to do.
So specifically with regards to certain tech stacks, if you will, that I personally use, overall, I think the goal here is technology is not going to replace the human element that we have. And that's the big fear out there. Yeah. What technology does is amplify the sales process. So companies who reach out to for our services, even yours, are really looking for the human element. It's the tech stack that amplifies it and moves it faster so that we can close deals better. So from a personal aspect, certainly I've got a CRM system. I personally use Zoho. And a CRM system is not supposed to be a repository of information. That was the bill of goods sold to us, and I hate to age myself, maybe in the latter 90s, early 2000s, to create a library of information of whom you've been talking to. A CRM system really should be scheduling tasks and activities forward to further amplify the conversations you're having. Another area is using something like Zoom Info. As far as prospecting, trying to engage new clients, research, find out more information, the technology that's available today is phenomenal. And it really can compile lists and databases faster than anything out there.
I'm going to age myself and say, like, I still use the Yellow Books, Yellow Pages, right?
Fair.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I mean, that's really, that was one of my first jobs. I remember, here you go. I threw it on the table and I was like, go through these letters. Like, all right, well, find an automotive company here and write that down and, get the rotary phone and go. But you're right. Platforms like Zoom Info for prospecting makes it a lot easier.
And then lastly,
you look horrified.
From an AI perspective, I think we all got on the ChatGPT bandwagon early just to kind of figure out, hey, what is this thing and how can this be incorporated into my life? But I got to tell you right now, today, Claude has blown by ChatGPT, and don't get me in trouble with my other services that I pay for.
Yeah, right.
But from that amplification that we're looking for, the creativity of getting new information together, but also tying it with your CRM. So now I can really pinpoint some of the verticals that I want to sell to, and I can use these all together. And, I don't want to be a representative for Claude, but honestly, that's what it's presenting us and providing us today.
We're always looking for opportunities to gain sponsors.
Yes.
So Claude, decision makers, if you're listening, please reach out. We would love to have a conversation.
So you're with Zoho. You also use Zoom Info to get leads.
Yep.
Then you're populating your content with Claude. And you're doing workflow automations and mostly through email? You still doing calls? What are you doing?
It's a combination of dials and emails. And from a work perspective, I believe in your world and mine, when you're trying to create new business, as well as expand opportunities with existing clients, an outreach is the same, email or dial. But we can't rely on one versus the other. It is a combination of both. And when I work with our clients, I put in a 9+ step approach for outreach. And the purpose of that is because statistically, it takes about 8.4 times of outreach in order just to get some meaningful feedback from the people we're prospecting to. Typical sales individuals, people who are reaching out for new business, they quit after 2.2 times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you're going to reach out 8 to 9 times, you have to have a cadence and a system to how you're going to create that outreach.
Yeah, I like what, to go back to something you said earlier, how technology is amplifying, right? What you've taught already. It's amplifying the message. It's amplifying your offering. And again, I think part of the automation part is like truly getting to them at the right time.
Yes.
Right? When they're in their big time of need, getting that in front of them to be timely. And I think a lot of those touches then equals brand recognition, right? So maybe I didn't respond to your first 5 emails, but now I have this thing and now you're in front of me again. Oh, maybe we're starting to connect dots, right? Psychologically. So
as far as your maintenance of this CRM, because I'm sure you're talking to a lot of people, you're looking at a lot of different groups. What do you see as your best practices to make sure that you know all those touches that have already happened and what they thought? Because Sandler is a lot about that relationship and finding out their pain points, right? And talking to their troubles. So how are you tracking all that in your CRM?
I would suggest anybody who has a CRM, speak with your CRM administrator. And my thoughts on technology, it's only as good as the inputs, meaning if we can tell the machine to do what we want it to do, it will do it. So therefore, all of you individuals who have CRM systems out there, call your administrator and say, hey, if I place a call or an outreach into my system today, I would like it to create a task forward for me, be it 7 days, be it 14 days, so that when I turn my computer on 14 days from now, I open it up, there's a list of tasks already ready for me. And so when I walk into my office the first thing in the morning, I don't have to sit there and create a to-do list. I don't have to figure out, hey, what's Robert going to do today? The systems is already in place because I've leveraged technology.
So did you hook everything into your cloud yet and have it give you the stand-up?
Right now, I'm doing that transition. Once again, to be fair, there's a couple other relationships I have out there with a credit card.
So you're not scared of relationships and commitment.
Yeah, no. But I am afraid of breaking up. I'm afraid of breaking up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where
I used the analogy the other day to date us a little bit more. When MySpace wasn't as fashionable anymore, and I had a Facebook account. I felt like I was cheating on MySpace with Tom. Yeah. And I was like, oh, great. That's it.
Tom was a good one.
Yeah, right.
All right. So when you see how the people that you're training, because mostly you are talking about how they're selling and how they're talking to their prospects, but what do you see as like common holes in their processes outside of that, like maintaining all of those relationships and that visibility on those relationships?
Oftentimes there is a challenge around certain techniques. So companies reach out for our services, one, because they want to learn how to close faster or do something better or whatnot. We've found in order to leverage relationships, communication with tech stacks, it has to be affiliated with what is the strict or outreach that you want to have occur in your business? How do you want to grow your business and scale? What types of companies do you want to reach out to? Once we can identify that, and once again, I've already showed you my tech stack that helps me do that, we now have to figure out how then can I use technology as well as my systems in order to help drive decisions. Sales individuals, guys and girls, they're left out in the chasm of waiting for the prospect or the buyer to make a decision, not sure when it's coming, but I'll wait it out. Yeah. And then what we do is once we can start driving those decisions, we now have to maybe focus on another area. That being, how do we protect and grow the business we already have?
Yeah, our existing client base, right? They're warm. They already pay you. They like you. Correct. Yeah.
So from leveraging, and I think technology has really helped us in this area, from leveraging from the outreach to the new to the existing client base, that's how you're going to maintain and grow what you already have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you can grow your existing client base 15, 20% a year, you hit your number.
There you go.
Right? That's before even anything net new. Anything net new that comes through the door, we're really happy. Yeah. Right now we're going to hit stretch goals.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know that's where we are in our growth is like, how can we better communicate the things that we do? Because even as a marketing agency, this is just a peek behind the curtain. It's like, we can be better at like, hey, we do these things too.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought you were a marketing company. Oh, but wait, you do AI enablement, right? You're going to help me choose my tech stack, right? And it's like, and that's where we start is the foundation part. So that's what differentiator for us is that we start with the technology conversation. Good. Is it scalable? Right? Do you know what a CRM is?
Yeah.
Like these things, because if not, it's probably not going to be a fit. If I can't, if we can't do work and then show an ROI and like do attribution, it's not going to be a fit. So, we're looking for clients and prospects to become clients who want to invest in themselves, understand the wants and the need. Like they intrinsically, they want to grow. They want to scale and not just 5% year over year because that's how it's always been. No, we're looking for high growth folks. And that always starts in the technology conversation. Mm-hmm. But, speaking of technologies, AI, we mentioned it a little bit. Tell us how you're utilizing AI, in your sales process now.
Well, one of the areas I utilize AI is to research, number one, specific companies, but also to create a database of types of companies that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. I mentioned Claude. Claude has the ability to enable me to find out companies who are researching and looking for what it is I sell.
Buyer intent.
Yeah. And that can help narrow down my search in time spent by eons. Yeah. And it provides you with names, contacts, information. So now I can directly pick up the phone because I know my competition, they're not picking up the phone.
Right.
So
I also think one thing that's great about buyer intent, like we've all been here in the sales process where you get a hold of somebody and they're like, I wish I would have talked to you 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I've been doing research and we just signed a contract. And you're just like, oh, well, let's keep in touch. Tell me how it goes for you. How's your implementation going? We're here to help. But yeah, like if we have buyer intent and if we're being smarter on the front end of the sales process, we can get there sooner.
correct.
Okay.
All right. Should I move on to the last leg here?
Yeah.
So totally kind of off topic for what we've been talking about is your personal brand that you've been working on. So
Yes.
obviously we're a marketing agency, so we're paying attention to each other's feeds right now. And you've been showing up a lot on LinkedIn in particular is where I see you most actively. What led to you pursuing a more active position on LinkedIn?
Well, I believe you can see from a lot of the work you're doing that people want the personal, emotional touch. And so this whole conversation today was around AI, and that's not necessarily the personal touch. So people still want to be engaged with human beings. And what looks more human than experiencing the element of where I am and what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I started out the concept of moving around Cleveland. I was featuring myself at the West Side Market, in front of museums, buildings to feature Cleveland. Then I also tried to tie in one of my favorite things to talk about, because I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, is pizza. So I wanted to tie in pizza. So from a personal brand aspects, I wanted you to know I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I love pizza, and you can partner with me and we can walk this area together.
Love it.
So we try and get a lot of our clients to do this kind of thing too. Is like, just start recording yourself. I know it's hard and that's awkward, but
At
like
first,
you
yeah.
just have to start.
Just like this.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Yes. It's still marginally awkward, but it's a lot easier than it was when we first started.
Yeah.
How much time are you spending on your content?
So the Ruby Group and my partners, we put together a plan that said, hey, look, we want to make sure we're producing at least 8 videos per month.
Nice.
There will be additional items that we'll put in our LinkedIn pages and other social media feeds, but we want to be specific about the number of outreaches we're doing, but also secondly, what type of content and message should we put out? Yeah. So a lot of this is scripted because we have an internal marketing team that's very, very strong.
Yeah.
So we've been blessed
helpful.
with that. Yeah.
Nice. And are you just shooting these on the fly? Because that's how it feels.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah, right? It was a compliment.
Yeah, it is a compliment.
Yeah.
It looks like you just pull it up and talk about it wherever you're walking.
Well, the concept behind that was it appeared more real to me. At first, when
Authentic.
I started out, I was almost reading the information.
Yeah.
And that did not feel like me. So
very robotic. And you're
if I
not.
wanted people to partner with me, hey, walk along. I'm going to mess up some lines.
Right.
It's going to be totally real.
Yeah.
I might even, in fact, I think I got a comment once that I said a word wrong.
Oh, no.
And I responded back, thank you. I
Thank
knew
you.
that, but I wanted a a nice cut online. So here it is.
Authenticity matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about it in our business, and it does. And as somebody who watches your social media, loving it because it is authentic.
Yeah. Here's the big tough question that we get asked all the time about, because we're doing the same thing, right?
Yep.
Has it led to any new business, do you think?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Great.
I can tell you wholeheartedly, I'm in a process right now where specifically the VP of sales reached out because of my LinkedIn videos and showed them to his CEO. And I'm in conversations now, and I have what's specific to this conversation, having clear futures, time and date on the calendar for next conversation. I have that actively right now. So
Perfect.
It has. And I know
That's awesome.
all the stuff that you're doing has led to new business as well, because I love your material.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yes. And it's always interesting because it's been going on forever. Like from a brand standpoint, we're like, well, we're going to chalk that up to brand. And it's not always easy to draw a direct ROI. And we answer to folks who want to know, like, hey, so what did that turn into? So we're always, we understand that question and justifying that expense of time and everything. But, I think that, brands build trust, and trust equals conversations, and conversations, when you layer it with the systems and the timeliness that we're talking about, can equal revenue. So it's great. This is totally unscripted, everyone. So we were really hopeful that you'd say, yes, this has turned into business. So that was awesome. Yeah, good.
I also think it's kind of interesting, like what you're saying about using all these processes and tools, also building the personal brand, keeping that authenticity, but still using AI. Like you're absolutely right. It's something that we keep saying about how we're using AI, and you have to in everything that you're doing, but you always have to keep it in there and like make sure you're correcting your voice and keeping control on it. You can't just let it loose.
No,
yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring this home with some rapid fire. We're just going to do some rapid fire questions. It's the first time on this podcast, so our listeners are going to say, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
But I have to know, since I'm following yours, you filmed in the barbershop. So I have to understand, what is your cadence in the barbershop, and how does your barber feel about it? Because I'm thinking about asking mine to participate as well.
Well, you happen to ask a very timely question, because as you can see here, there is no facial hair.
Yep.
And that occurred about a week ago before I left on an international trip to train some companies in Dublin, Ireland. My cadence was weekly. Once a week. I had to keep it fresh and crispy, because my clients will tell you, when I started the journey about probably about 3 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
I looked like the worst James Harden. In fact, when Kendra came in, she kind of, he's nice, but his beard's all over the place. So.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite piece of advice for a salesperson?
Favorite piece of advice for a salesperson is probably lean into whatever you're doing. Meaning, you have to have a little bit of courage, because this is a violent sport we're in as far as sales. You're going to get a heck of a lot of no's. So lean into those no's so that you can get the yes.
I like that.
Yeah. What is one thing you think businesses should fix in their organizations right now? What do you see when you're working with your clients that you see a trend here? What should businesses stop doing?
Businesses, I think when they invest in their people, and I'm giving you this perspective from what I do, it has to come from top down, meaning I won't train or work with companies that the leadership is not going to go through training. Because if you're just trying to pay for people to come through our program, essentially you might have identified an area that's not really causing you a problem, but you think by throwing money at it. So the companies that partner with the Ruby Group, I got to tell you, the ones who've been with us upwards of 13 years are because their leadership leans in and participates in the program.
Got it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then the most important one. What is your favorite style of pizza, and where do you get it from? You put out a lot of pizza.
Tough questions now. Now we're getting into it.
So I will say this, and I hope I don't get in trouble with some of the pizza in Northeast Ohio. As I stated, I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. We think we have the best pizza. In Northeast Ohio and Cleveland, I would say the Il Rione is number one. But you can't necessarily put it up against an Angelo's, because they're two different types of crusts, a little bit thicker. So I don't classify them all together. You have your Neapolitan wood-fired ones, you have your thicker ones, and then the question I always ask, and Kendra, I asked her this when she first came into my room, give me a pizza shop that you would recommend to a friend. My only stipulation is it cannot be commercial pizza.
Yeah, no chains.
And it has to be less than 3 locations, because I really want that mom and pop feel.
Yeah, no, I'd rather support those businesses anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all we got.
That's all we got?
Yep.
All right. I guess we'll try to close this up now.
Yep.
Say it with me. If you build it, they will come. Everybody recognize that one? I know it's baseball season. But if you build the system, I think if you show up consistently and if you're timely, that's how organizations will grow. So if we're incorporating everything you're teaching, right? And if we're going to have better conversations, and then we're going to layer the technology stack so that we're interacting with prospects at the right time, that's going to equal growth and revenue growth. so happy that you're able to join us today. You accepted the invitation to sit in the hot seat with us. Go ahead and give your plugs. Tell people where to find you so they can find you on social media and how can they reach out. And then after that, I'll bring us home.
My name is Robert Graham Perry, as you know from the last hour, basically. I work with Sandler Sales Training. Our franchise is called The Ruby Group, located in Fair Lawn, Ohio. Feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn or on my cell, 216-650-6522.
Excellent.
Wow.
All right. Special shout out, Robert. Thank you so much again for joining us today. And as always, everybody, you should know how to get a hold of us. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the part I butcher, but we're going to spark a conversation. Let's have a talk and we'll figure out how we can grow together. Take care.